What's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. All right, you guys. So first story up is actually a sad story. This is about DJ Twitch. Mama named him Stephen Boss. You guys probably remembered him as the DJ on Ellen's talk show that's no longer on. But he was the DJ there, the smiling, dancing DJ who actually towards the end of the Ellen run became a producer on the show. You know, when they had all that uproar and a lot of the staff was gone, he became a producer. But anyway, you guys, we got news yesterday that his wife had rushed to the police department to let them know that her husband had left. Didn't have his car, hadn't been home, and she was concerned, she was worried. Shortly after that, there was a call from a hotel or a motel that someone there had, there was a shooting at the motel, and when they got there, they saw that he had a self-inflicted gun wound and that he had committed suicide. The news came out yesterday, and everybody was just shocked. Shocked because even when you see the pictures of him, he always had such a happy, pleasant look on his face. We all assumed that he was a happy, pleasant person and that things were going right in his life. Of course, we only see these things on social media. And I mean, how many times do we have to discuss that social media is not our real lives? Most of the time we put forth, you know, our best on social media, and people don't really see what a person is truly going through. That may very well be the case here. I just could not believe it. I don't follow him, but of course I knew who he was. I've remembered him from the So You Think You Can Dance days. I know he was in movies, you know, he was in the Magic Mike movies, and of course, being on Ellen, I knew he was married, and you know, him and his wife would do little dance videos and things together. They had children together, and it's just so sad to know that whatever it was that was going on in his life was so bad that he decided to take his own life. Just floored. And I think most people were, especially those that actually knew him, because even those that were close to him did not seem to know, or at least they're not speaking on it. They may have known, but it seemed like general shock for us to find out that he had done something like that. I mean, I just saw on Entertainment Tonight not too long ago when they were at his house. Him and his wife had just bought a house in Encino, and they were there visiting, and apparently they were talking about having another baby. And like I said, just seemed like a happy guy. And so this hearing about him committing suicide, first of all, reminds us that you never really know. It sounds like a cliche thing to say, but it's true. You don't know what people are going through, and people always put forth their best. And so that's what you usually see, but deep down inside, and maybe not even so deep down inside, people are going through a lot to the point where they feel like they can't do it any longer. It's very, very, very sad. And I don't know what mental space you have to be, headspace to be in to actually want to end your life. That is nothing that I've ever wanted to do. However, I always try to be sympathetic to people that go through those thoughts, because shit is hard. Life is difficult for a lot of people. It just gets to that point for some people where they're in dire straits and feel like there's no out, and the only best way to handle things is to end their life. The sad thing about it is he's left behind his family, his wife and his 3 kids, who no longer have a husband and a father. And it's just very, very heartbreaking. And it's sad that people never know how much they mean to the world until, I mean, he will never know all of this outpouring of love, even from people that may not have even been really familiar with him, and just finding out about him now. But it's too bad that we can't give our flowers to people while they're still alive, you know. But like I said, you don't know what people are going through, and that's the part that really hurts. I'm just really, I just couldn't believe it. I just could not believe that happened. And I know there's a lot of theories that are going around on the reason why he may have done that. I won't speak on that. I'll let the family, if they ever decide to want to talk about, you know, what really was going on in that household, I'll let them be the ones to put that information out there. But as far as, you know, him just committing suicide and feeling like there was no other out, it just makes me so sad. You know, this is a time of the year where people have seasonal depression. That was something that I used to suffer from, and I really tried to have a discussion with myself to try to figure out what was going to make me feel happier around this time. My mom had seasonal depression, and and that was always something that I battled. And so that's why I have decided to really get into the Christmas spirit. It makes me feel happy when my house is decorated and, you know, me being home and just appreciating what I have here. But I know that it's not that easy for people to just decide to, you know, choose happy. And that it's really difficult for a lot of people. And so I do have sympathy for those who suffer in silence with seasonal depression or just depression overall. It's a tough time. People have tough lives, and even if it's something that we don't really fully understand that a person might be going through, we might look at somebody and think that they have a perfect life. But that person, if they're not happy inside, then their life will never mean that much to them, you know, where they would want to stay here. So I just feel so bad for his wife, Blue. I feel bad for his children, his family, his friends, loved ones, and of course, fans. These fans all over this world. Fans all over this world who now have to mourn, you know, his death. I just wish that there was something that could have been done to, you know, keep him here just one more day, just so that he could know that his life was worth, you know, worth it, and for him to still be here. So that's it, you guys. I don't want to get emotional. He was 40 years old, of course, married, and 3 children that he leaves behind. Rest in peace to Stephen Boss, also known as DJ Twitch. All right, you guys, next story up. This case with MegVsTory and Tory Lanez has been nothing short of entertaining. I will tell you that I have been riveted. When I say riveted, every time the news comes out of what the next witness has said on that witness stand, child, I just drink it up. I read it up like it's some damn syrup on the damn plate. You know, you just sop it up, child. It's just been the most entertaining case that we've talked about this year. And I almost want to say even more than the, you know, this case has so many eyes on it, even more than the R. Kelly case. So unless you've been living under a rock, the case has just started between Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, where they're now trying to see if Tory Lanez did indeed shoot Meg Thee Stallion in her feet. We have talked about this case in detail before the case even became a fucking case, okay? We talked about it on social media, honey. We tried the case and retried it and retried it in social media. To the point where I think everybody was so tired of speculation and not knowing what was facts and what wasn't, that, you know, I had just decided I was going to wait for the case to get here and then we'll go from there. Well, the case is here. And it has been a doozy. okay, out there in Los Angeles. Okay, I used to work in that courthouse that they are in when I used to work for the DA's office. And I was like, I bet you it is exciting up in that damn building right now. It has really been something to watch. And up until Kelsey got on the stand, you know, it's with the exception of a few other things added in, I think that there wasn't any doubt, really too much doubt cast on Meg Thee Stallion's side. But that's why we have a case, so that we can get both sides, right? So the prosecution and the defense both had their opening statements. The prosecution said that they had a witness that was going to say that they saw Tory Lanez shoot Meg Thee Stallion. The defense said that there was so much more happening in this case, and, you know, that they were going to break down the reasons why there was so much shit going on in that car, and they're going to maintain that Tory Lanez did not shoot Meg Thee Stallion. And so the case got started. Tory Lanez has been in court every day. Did you guys see that he's been bringing his son with him to court? You know, I'm assuming that he's doing that to make himself look good with the jurors. Like, you know, this man is a family man. He's a father. He wouldn't shoot somebody. He has a kid that he needs to live for, you know. So he's, and when he comes into court, he looks quite pleased. You know, he's smiling, and he feels like he's got it in the bag here. Okay. So that was interesting. But anyway, when Meg Thee Stallion got on the case and got on the witness stand, and her very pretty purple suit, almost similar to the color that I have on now, beautiful bob, like, you know, she said that she couldn't believe she had to do this, that she didn't feel well, you know, and, you know, she didn't like the fact that they were trying to turn this case into something about who slept with who, because the fact of the matter is somebody shot her, okay, and that somebody was Tory. But, you know, she got up there and she explained what she's been going through, so much to the point where she felt like she wished that he would have just shot and killed her if she knew that she was going to be going through this. Her life has been awful these last 2 years, just having to defend herself, and also in this male-dominated you know, rap community that she belongs to. The men seem to be very upset that she's even said anything about, you know, one of their own. So there have been other people that have attacked her, and she's not understanding, considering that she is the victim, okay? But so it's been difficult for her, but she's still maintained the same story. You know, we've gotten a little bit more details, but she still says that she saw Tory Lanez shoot her, and that he did say, "Dance, bitch." Okay. When Kelsey got onto the stand is when we felt like, okay, Kelsey is going to finally say that Tory Lanez did it, because we need to be able to put the gun in his hand, pulling the trigger. And when Kelsey first got on the stand, the very first thing that she asked was for immunity, okay, which confused the prosecution, because they were like, we have no intentions of charging you with anything, but okay, fine. If you want immunity, we'll give it to you, okay? Just come on with the story, because they had already had a deposition with her back in September. This hair always makes my nose itch. Back in September, that, you know, and she basically told them everything that happened, that she did see Tory Lanez shoot Meg, that he had offered her money, you know, all of those things. So when she got on the witness stand, prosecution is expecting her to still say the same things that she said back in September. So she gets started with the story. She tells us what happened, that basically she and Meg met Tory Lanez at the Roc Nation brunch. We've seen those pictures of her. Well, we've seen the pictures of Meg and Tory, you know, laughing at the brunch. That is apparently where they all met. Meg actually put Kelsey and Tory Lanez together, hooked them up with each other, and they started seeing each other. Apparently, Kelsey got COVID and ended up leaving Los Angeles and going back to Texas to recover. When she was in Texas, it seems that Meg Thee Stallion started having a relationship with Tory behind Kelsey's back, okay? But Kelsey did not know that at the time. Fast forward to a kickback or something that Kylie Jenner was having at her house. It wasn't a party like we thought. It was actually just a kickback, a few people over at her house, and they had drinks or whatever. Kelsey and Meg went to that kickback, and she said that it was a whole lot of alcohol, to the point where Kelsey had even passed out at one point. Okay, but when she came to, she noticed that Tory Lanez was now there. He was not there with them. He didn't come with them, but he had showed up at the party. She said that Meg and Tory and Kylie were in the pool together, and Tory was clearly flirting with Kylie. Okay, and Meg the Stallion did not like that and started to, I guess, cut the fool in that pool. So much so that Kylie told her that they had to leave. Kelsey and Meg packed up and left, all right? Or I don't know if they packed up, because when they left, Meg realized that she didn't have her shoes any longer, that she had left them at Kylie. So let's go back to the house and let's go get the shoes. So they turn around and they go back to get the shoes. And when she goes in, when she comes back out, she has Tory with her, okay? And Tory gets in the car with them. I'm assuming Tory was probably mad at Meg for cutting up and, cock blocking basically, as he was trying to push up on Kylie. And so that's when he says, I don't know, something along the lines of, I don't even know why you so fucking mad. You need to tell your friend what you did. Okay. And that's when he tells Kelsey that Meg has been messing with him behind Kelsey's back. So this is what created the argument in the car. Okay. And I'm assuming that argument most likely was mostly between Meg and Kelsey, because Kelsey probably was like, how you gonna do some shit like that? And Meg was probably like, nigga, why would you even tell her that? And then, that's when Meg probably said that his music was trash and nobody listened to it. So now we attacking his ego, and we already knows that he has a fragile ego. So that's where the argument and the fight escalated. Apparently, when Meg got out of the car, this is when the prosecution was asking Kelsey, did you see Tory shoot Meg the Stallion? And she said, no, she didn't. Okay, that she didn't remember. And they were like, you don't remember? And she says, well, no, she didn't see him shoot. She only heard the gun pops. So you didn't see him shoot her? No, she didn't see him shoot her. She only heard it, okay? But they know that they had spoken to her in September, and she actually said that she saw Tory Lanez pull out a gun and shoot her. Okay, so what did you mean then when you said that? She said that she only said that to protect herself. They were like, protect yourself from what? Meg has always said that Tory was the one that shot her, okay? Well, I guess she felt that she needed to protect herself. So then she tries to plead the fifth. I'm sorry, actually, she tried to plead the fifth when they first asked her if she saw him shoot her. And she tried to plead the fifth, and they told her that, why would you plead the fifth? You can only plead the fifth when you're going to say something that can incriminate yourself, okay? So you can't just plead the fifth if you don't feel like answering. You can only plead the fifth if it's going to say something, if you're going to say something that gets you in trouble as well. So then I started thinking like, well, what could she have done short of shooting Meg herself that would incriminate herself, So I was just like, were they struggling over the gun in the car? Like, did she tell him, like, when he said, I'm gonna shoot that bitch, did she say, go on and shoot the bitch if you want to? Like, did she blow? Like, why did she feel that she would incriminate herself? So then they asked her, say, okay, so you said back in September that you saw him shoot her. Now you're saying that you didn't. That's what she's saying. Well, what did this text mean when you sent a text to the security and said, 911, Tory shot Meg, help? Well, she kept on saying, I don't know, I don't remember. Okay. So clearly they have a witness that's switching it up on the stand. On top of that, they asked her about the $1 million that Meg, because Meg said that he had offered them $1 million apiece not to speak. Okay. What about that? Did he offer you that? And she did admit that he offered that. Okay. Did he offer to get your lawyer for you? And she said yes. And they said, well, did he pay for your lawyer? She said she didn't remember. How do you not remember? Either he did or he didn't. You have a lawyer that's right here, okay? But anyway, I think it was clear that the prosecution wasn't getting anywhere with this witness. They were getting frustrated because she was now all of a sudden full of the I don't knows and I don't remember. And clearly they have a witness now who's probably going to be considered hostile and is now changing up the story. And see, now that she has immunity, even though I believe they can take back that immunity. So my real rock star lawyers out there, the real ones, please. I don't need any social media lawyers today. But let me know, can they rescind the immunity offer? Okay, because you can't just be up here lying, can you? So, but if she does have immunity, and if she's saying that she doesn't know if he shot her or not, and he's saying that he didn't shoot her, and they both have gunpowder residue on their hands, like, how does this turn out? Like, what happens now? You know? She's going to be back on stand today. This is Thursday, so she's back on the stand today, and I don't know what happened in court today. I haven't been on social media because it's been so much happening in this house today. But you know, I still feel like if it wasn't her that shot him, and if she sent that text message, because in the heat of the moment, I don't think that she would be lying right then, because it's like you're scared. You know, she got out the car supposedly and tried to help Meg, and then everybody had to get, you know, Tory told everybody to get back in the fucking car because they're making a scene. They're in the middle of, like, you know, West Hollywood or Hollywood Hills or Beverly Hills, wherever they were. And, you know, this is in the height of the George Floyd just getting killed. And, you know, that's the reason why Meg said that she didn't even say that she had got shot immediately, because she was afraid of the police. She doesn't trust the police. And so, I mean, it's just such a mess. It's such a mess. And Kelsey has definitely helped make this case be a mess. I think that if I was just making my own guess, this is not what they're saying is true, but it looks like Kelsey may have been paid off by Tory Lanez to not say that, you know, I think that she's just now going to just keep on saying, I don't know, I don't remember. Instead of her saying, no, he didn't shoot her, now she can just say this. I think that that's enough doubt that will cast on the jury to maybe fuck the case up. I mean, I don't know. Is this something that can go to a mistrial? Like, could they just be like, this is it's just such a mess now, and the witnesses are all changing their stories and all of that. I mean, Tory, with everything that's going on right now, I doubt that they will even put him on the stand, okay? But, and especially with both of them still having, both of them having that gunpowder residue on there, it's just a mess, child. And I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you what, I have been paying the fuck attention. It has been really, really just something to be reading and just marveling over. And then the people that are reporting the stories, they just as excited too, child. So it is definitely a big deal. And I know that I feel bad for Meg, though. I know she's ready for this case to be over. And just every day on social media, I hope she's trying to preserve her sanity and not even looking at social media, because honey, she don't need to be looking at any of the comments that are out right now. But yeah, it looks like Kelsey, and realistically, do you think that Kelsey would be trying to help Meg in this situation when Meg has supposedly gone behind her back and messed with not only Tory Lanez, but supposedly Ben Simmons she was trying to see, and Meg messed with him? He's denied that, but that's what they said in court, as well as DaBaby. Now, we do know that DaBaby and Meg Thee Stallion had some sort of relations, and supposedly that was behind Kelsey's back as well. So I don't think that Kelsey is really in the market to be trying to help Meg, okay? When everything happened, apparently Meg cut off contact with everybody and didn't talk to her best friend, and her best friend did not know what to do, and Tory was the one that was constantly in her ear, okay? I'm sorry, let me give you this money, let me help you with your business, what do you need? I'm gonna pay for this, I'm gonna give you the money, all of this. And of course, if she's already feeling a way about what Meg did to her, you know, now she's not really trying to help Meg in this case. You know, she's not going to come up with just a whole nother story. She's just going to keep on saying, I don't know, I don't remember, you know. And because that information in September cannot be, they've already instructed the jurors that they can't even take any of the stuff that was said in September into consideration. But we all know it's there, but they can't put that into the deliberations when they actually start talking about it. You know, it's just, I don't know what's going to happen with this case, child. I don't know, but I'm telling you what, Rocky been watching, reading, and just learning a whole lot. What y'all think about the case, though? Do you guys believe that Tory is going to be found guilty? If I was the prosecution, at least of right now, unless something happened today that I don't know of, I would be a little concerned. I would be a little concerned. But you guys let me know what you think about all that. It's been something else, hasn't it? All right, you guys, next story up. So Puffy has a new baby, okay? He welcomed into the world the other day. Well, he welcomed her to our world the other day. New Love Sean Combs, okay? But apparently Love was born in October and we're just finding out about it. But when the news dropped, man, we were shocked, okay? We didn't know who the baby mama was because he did not say who it was at the time. But we knew who the baby mama wasn't, okay? It definitely was not Young Miami, okay? Mama named her Carisha, whatever her last name is. Y'all didn't check. You know, and of course, because people have already been very concerned about her relationship with Puffy, even though there is no relationship like that. I mean, they are friends. I guess Puffy would say that she's one of his closest friends. They go together real bad. However, they are both single and they're both free to see other people. And it's clear that Puffy is going to do that. All right. He has told us that he's never getting married, that he's not going to lie to women anymore, and he's going to let them know exactly what the situation is, and they can choose to stick around or not. Young Miami has decided to stick around, which probably wasn't that hard for her considering he's a almost billionaire. He can wine and dine her and fly her all around and buy her nice things and take care of her. And, you know, all of that is happening. And so she clearly has made the decision to stay a part of his harem of women. And child, I don't use that lightly. It's definitely a harem of women, okay? But I mean, if she's chosen to stay there, I mean, I can't worry about it. The only thing that I was worried about was the fact that she, you know, I know people think that she's a city girl and, you know, they're supposed to be up on like scamming niggas or being able to like, you know, get to the bag and get this out of men and don't get their feelings involved and all that. I mean, all of the talk is easy. But at the end of the day, when your feelings start to get involved, that's where I was concerned, because I was just like, honey, Puffy is from back in the day. Puffy been doing this shit for years. We have seen it. You know, the people that are my age, we have seen Puffy go through these women, make these women think that they about to be his, you know, one and only. And, you know, that's not what the situation is. We've seen people waste many years of their lives dealing with Puffy. Okay. Anybody remember Cassie? You know, and it took her a long time to get out from under Puffy, but she finally did and found that happiness. I just don't want that to happen to Young Miami. But if she's got a plan and if she knows that she's, you know, if she knows that she wants to still be a part of this group, and if it's nothing more than her just having fun and this is like one of her good homeboys or whatever, then so be it. But I can't worry about it too much more. I can't worry about it too much more, you know. But the people definitely was worried about it, and people was definitely all over, you know, social media just like, girl, what are you doing? This man is going out there having a baby on you with all these other women. You know, we got, and it's a bunch of women. So first of all, the baby mama is Dana Tran, okay? She is an former like data systems analyst or securities analyst or something like that. We know about the girl Gina, or however you say her last name. She is also Asian, maybe Asian mixed, not sure which persuasion that she is, but we know that she's also around. Her and Carisha have gone back and forth because that girl, you know, kind of was just sort of like, ha ha ha, like you doing all this extra shit, you stupid bitch. That's actually what she posted. And, you know, Carisha was like, girl, you've been around for 10 years. You know, if I wanted you to eat my face in the place, if I wanted you to put your face in my place, you know, I could have just told Diddy and Diddy would have had you on your knees, and you've been crying about having a baby by Diddy all this time and you still don't have a baby, and something about an abortion, and called her Chun-Li and sushi and all of this. People weren't happy about the racial slurs, but the girl did post the ninja emoji when she was talking about Puffy. And, you know, when you post a ninja emoji, we know what that means. So, you know, but anyway, people were upset. People were amused by the back and forth between the two of them. Then there was also back and forth with her and DJ Academics, who always has something to say. You know, and called her a side piece, to which she had to respond to him and say she's nobody's side piece, and, you know, play with Diddy, don't play with me. And you know, so she called him a punk and all of this. And then Santana had to get in it because he's taken up for one of his best friends, and saying that he was gonna beat Academics' ass if he would come outside. And it just turned into all of this mess. All right. Puffy finally, when he saw that Young Miami was out there defending, I'm talking about swinging on everybody for her life. I mean, everybody, she was responding to everybody. And I was just like, girl, we got it. You're going to be with them, and that's what you want to do. Like, stop giving these people even more to say. Just stop responding. If you want to, you know, if you made that decision, then even if we don't agree with it, even if we can see the fucking train wreck going to happen, even if it's 5 or 10 years later, like, if that's what you decided, then stop responding to these people. But, you know, she was responding. Finally, Puffy had to come out and say that Young Miami is not his side piece. She's no side piece. She's very special to him. You know, that's his shawty wop. And, you know, he don't play about his shawty wop. And if you guys continue to talk about shawty wop, he gonna have to pull up to your house and have a discussion with you, okay? Which is probably what he actually did with DJ Academics. Well, I know that he was in his DMs, and now DJ Academics is apologizing and saying that Young Miami is not no side piece and all of this. And I've heard stories about Puffy, like, making good on those promises. Like, if he don't show up at your house, then he gonna send some goons after you. Okay, so looks like Puffy might have got to DJ Academics, but anyway, you know, he said that's his shawty wop, and I was just like, oh, shawty wop. Well, we didn't know it was so serious. Child, I mean, it's a grown-ass man. You talking about your shawty wop, and, you know, she's out here, Lord. But yeah, it's a lot of women. But if that's what Carisha wants to be a part of, then who am I to judge? We got Carisha, we got the girl Gina, we got the baby mama Dana, then we got the new girl Shantia. That's the new girl that has been seen around New York with Puffy as of late. I think that she is an IG model, okay? And I mean, I guess we can throw in there honorable mention Daphne Joy. That's 50 Cent's baby mama that Puffy was seen with at one time. Probably not so much now, but Joy Chavis, Bow Wow's baby mama. Puffy was looking like he was dating her for a hot second. Yeah. I think we would maybe feel better if we saw that she really was dating other people and all that. But see, the thing is, men can date a whole bunch of women, right? Men can date a bunch of women and it won't be anything. But the minute a woman dates a bunch of men, then what's the first thing you're going to call her? A hoe, okay? It's a double standard. Women can't do what men can do. We've seen it happen with Lori Harvey, and Lori Harvey don't even date a bunch of men at one time. But look at what people say about Lori Harvey. So of course, Young Miami is not going to have herself out there in the, in the blogs and out there for people to take pictures and be like, oh, she's sleeping with this one, she's sleeping with that one, and she might not be sleeping with none of them. But that's what people will assume. They'll start calling her hold on. And she might not even want to date other people because she's so much up underneath Puffy. Okay. So, but I gotta let the girl live her life. But I really wish that, I don't know. I just kind of feel like this is not going to, it's not going to age well for her. Like, I feel like, we've seen Puffy once, I don't know. But we'll see. Who is that? Look. I'm telling you, the Lord don't want me to finish this video. But anyway, you guys, that's basically it. I mean, I would like more for Caresha, but if she don't want it for herself, then I can't worry about it. And maybe she do have a plan. Y'all seem to think Kanye got plans and Caresha got plans. Child, I can't worry about it. I can't worry myself about it. But yeah, we'll see if we get a sighting of the brand new baby. I mean, I think eventually we will, because it just seems like something Puffy will do, put her out there for us all to see. But yeah. Caresha says she fine with Puffy. Quit worrying about her. All right, you guys, next story up. So in my Instagram DMs the other day, somebody sent me a message and was just like, hey, Rox, you heard about what's happening with Fizz? And I think I was like, no. And they said, do I have permission to send you the pictures? And I knew... We didn't already have shit with Lil Fizz and these damn pictures of his stuff anyway. So I figured that's what it was about. So I was like, yep, go on and send it. Child, that mess that was sent to me, I was like, now what the hell? I looked at that thing, child. It looked like a mushroom that, kind of was leaning over to the side with like, 2 rocks or something on the side of the mushroom. And then it was another picture from underneath. So just imagine the vantage point, like as if you are squatting and you hold the phone underneath your legs like this. And it was the most concerning picture of a booty hole and the daint, okay? It was the booty hole and the daint and the balls, but from underneath. So it gave you a whole nother vantage point, right? I was like, what the fuck is this? Where did this come from? Well, apparently it was on his OnlyFans. All right. And somebody took the pictures and they were circulating the pictures. I don't know what the fuck y'all be into over there on OnlyFans, but child, what? So I just looked at that for a long time. I was just like, this ain't gonna be good for Fizz, because this don't make his shit look good. And then why are we looking at his booty hole exactly? And then on the damn picture, it say, come eat it, LOL. Oh, okay. So, child, I immediately go on to Twitter. And when I tell you, I ain't never laughed so fucking much with the things that was being said about those pictures. You guys, when somebody said Fizz, this raisin in the sun booty hole. And then somebody else said that his booty hole looked like a fucking blooming onion from Outbacks. Oh my God, I swear I could not stop laughing. I mean, it was just people posting all of this shit, and I was just like, I'm sure that people send pictures of their booty hole and they daint all the time, but usually, like Like, I don't get anything out of those kind of pictures, you know, so I never understand. Even when men want you to send, you know, pictures of you, your coochie is just sort of like, I mean, all right. I mean, I guess I'll send it to Mr., but what you want this for? Like, you know, it don't do nothing for me. But if, I mean, it does something for somebody, I guess. So, child, that damn picture was out there, and honey, they talked about it so bad. Even Moniece had to get on social media and say she can't show her face in the hood no more because, you know, this is gonna mess with her street credibility. I said, girl, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay, y'all child is grown. Y'all ain't been together in years, right? I think Moniece just wanted to say something, just had to say something. And finally, Lil Fizz comes out and says that that picture is not of him. That's not his booty hole. And that's not his ding ding out there. But I was just like, you waited quite a while to say something about it. Okay. And we have seen a picture of your ding a long time ago. And I mean, if I can kind of remember correctly, this one does sort of look like how that other one did. But child, if y'all would have saw that, it was like, you know, it was kind of hung over, and then it had the big knob right here. You're doing too much, Fizz. I don't know how this got out there, but too much. If this is what's happening on OnlyFans. But yeah, Fizz said that these women out there is trying to ruin him, and that, you know, he ain't going around here sending pictures of his booty hole and dain't. So, I mean, okay, if he say so. But child, I tell you what, I got a good giggle out of that. That shit was the most, that shit was so funny on whatever day that was that I had to go down the Twitter hole, but the Twitter booty hole. And Lil Fizz out here cutting up on Quinta Brunson's internet.